Hello, welcome back to Backyard Veggies. Fantastic, glorious morning. There's little heat wave that we're having in the UK. So it's a perfect opportunity to set this watering system up because everything's bone dry. So I've got a few ideas to share with you what I'm doing for watering. So I've got a kit here which is like a drip system. They go into your soil and it's run by a solar panel, which has got to be a lot better because with electric the prices are blooming sky high. So I'm going to have a go at setting this up, and then I'll come back to you once I've set it up, because I've got to try and get my head around it, because I'm not sure how it all works, and I ain't got no instructions with it because it's my son's and he's lent it me for summer. So I'm going to crack on with this, and then I'll show you what I've done, and then if you keep watching, I'll show you a couple of other ideas that I've got. So without further ado, we'll crack on and get this all set up. Right, I've set all that solar powered irrigation up. I'm going to show you that in a minute, but what I've got is these what screw onto bottles. It's like a porcelain nib or whatever you want to call it. That bit is porcelain, and it slow drips, and then you just screw this part on top of your bottle, and if that don't fit you can screw. So you've got two sizes is what I'm trying to say. So that one can screw into there, and you put on whichever one fits your bottle. So these are what I've done. So they just screw on, and then you just tip them upside down and stick that into your soil, and then that'll slow release the water. It's just a cheaper way of doing it, because some of these irrigation systems can be quite expensive, and I can't afford to buy things like that because they're just too expensive for me. So this is the next best thing, and I know these work because when I had caravan, we used to have flowers outside caravan, and when we went there we used to set these up for watering. So I'll set all these up, and then I'll show you the solar powered irrigation and this. And also we're going to try, you know how you've got your lid on your plastic bottles, if you fill it with water and if you pierce a hole in the lid and then put a tiny little hole at the top of the bottle here, well it's actually at the bottom but it will be at the top when it's upside down, fill it with water and then you can tip it upside down, same. And I don't know if it'll have the same effect, but I'm going to try one anyway and see what it's like. So we'll get these set up, and then we'll come back and we'll show you what we've been doing. So I've set the irrigation up in this bed. It's only done one bed, and is what happens. I'll just show you, look. Give you a close-up. It's got these little drip water things here, and I'll just explain what happens. We've got a solar panel there, and you couple the solar panel up to the black pipe where the water goes through. There's a pump in here, and you've got like, where is it? It's like a breather here, which lets the air in. Not doing this very well, am I? Yeah, here look, it's got like a little spout that lets all the air in, and you couple your pipe to that, and then it goes down and round and through your beds, and then it irrigates all that. And then in this bucket I've filled this with water, and in there we've got like a filter thing that filters the water, and then there's 2 probes that sit in the water as well, which is here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, there's like 2 probes, and when all your water's gone, the probes will stop the pump from working. So it is quite clever how it works. It's a bit hard to film it, and I've put the little water outlets all in this bed. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to wet it through the bed, and then I'm going to mulch it. So that's one way, and I think the whole system is only about £20, between £20 and £30, which is not a lot. And then the bottles, look, just put it in, stabbed it into the bed. We've got one in there. Just turn them upside down. I've lent them up because they are a little bit top heavy, because I've tried to use big bottles. And then this one, all I've done, I've put a tiny hole in the top and then a tiny hole in the lid, then tipped it upside down and popped it in and left the lid on. So that one's just an experiment to see how we go. I've got 4 dotted about, I have. So the other thing is, if you're going away, if you've got some pots, you can stand them into other pots and then fill that pot with probably an inch or so of water, and then it'll release the water. It can get the water whenever it wants. But if you haven't got any pots to put your pots in, which is, I know, is a mouthful, if you've got any, and this one, look, I've got an old compost bag, so I've stood the pot into a compost bag, so that'll hold some of the moisture as well. I've put a bit of water in the bottom of that, so that'll hold water. And then it's basically just some trays, like I've got a saucer under that one, so if you've got any saucers, you can use saucers to put things in. And I'll just take you down other side, and I'll show you these other trays that I've got. So I've got 3 of these trays, and I'm going to stand them in a shady spot in the garden, which is probably going to be down this general side of the house. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a bit of water in the bottom, and I'm going to stand all the potato pots on the tray. Like I say, I've got 3 of those, and they are quite big. And the other way that you can help with water is mulching. And if you're going away, you can also, the plants that you can move, just move them to a shady spot, and that will help. So I've set some of my potato plants up on trays, look, and I put a canner on there as well. So I've got those on there, and then I've got these on this side, which I've just got to put some water in the bottom, and then I've got an old bucket and put that canner in there. I've put 4 bottles into them 2 planters. And then I've got some more potatoes stood in that tray there. So that's that one sorted. So I've got a lot of stuff set up with the watering systems. And what happened was, after I'd stopped filming half of this, Kev took Tess for a walk, and he came across somebody throwing another watering system out. It was at the end of the drive, and they no longer wanted it, and it was brand new. So Kev picked that up and brought it home, and we decided to set that up, and it took a bit of setting up, but we've just about done it now, so I'll just show you that. I'll show you what we've been doing. So this is the watering system that we found on the side of the road at the end of somebody's drive. So it's coupled up to the tap, and then it's a black pipe that goes around, and then you come off the black pipe and you just connect it up to whatever you want, and it's got like the little grey thing there, they're like little drip feeders. So we've done all these pots here with it, and then we've just gone round the garden with it, and done as much as we can. We've managed to put it into this planter here, which goes into there, and then it goes down and into the bottom, but it comes from the black pipe at the bottom where we've gone round with it, and then we've come off of that one, and then we've come up into this other tiered planter. So we've done quite well with that. We are managing to find that, because it's helped us out a lot. Because like I said at the beginning of the video, we won't be able to afford to buy extra water feeders. I think we looked online and we priced it up at about £89. We did, because it was like a kit. It was. So we're all set up now. So I hope that gives you some ideas. If any of you have got any ideas for me, please share it in the comments on what you do for watering. That would be appreciated. So we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now. Bye.